Schnalli. Nach dem kurzen Intro in das Spiel geht's jetzt wirklich mit dem Gameplay weiter. What should you study next? Diese Animation oder wie auch immer man das nennt, wie bei der PowerPoint. Okay, ganz langweilig. Ich würde jetzt Etikette und Deception wieder machen. Es ist gerade im grünen Bereich. Ich glaube, das ist mir erstmal wichtig. Jetzt haben wir noch hier rechts noch mehr bekommen. Ich glaube, du sollst den Mauszeiger sehen können. Und Intrige haben wir eigentlich auch ganz viel. Ah. Okay. Okay. Also wenn wir das jetzt ableveln, würden wir 15 Punkte bekommen. Das ist ziemlich gut. Haha! You gained 15 points etiquette and 15 points in deception. Ah, Princess Serana. Here are the regular status reports. You eye the stack of papers with some dismay. The imperial harem has been cleared. All of your father's former concubines have been sent on their way with appropriate gifts and thanks. Oder was auch immer appropriate in diesem Fall ist. Some will no doubt wish to return for the official funeral, but for now it's safer to keep them away from the palace. We don't need any further disruption. It's probably for the best. When is the official funeral? Certain ceremonies to bless the Emperor's passage have been carried out already, but the full state funeral will not take place until the new ruler holds the throne. Until then, the Emperor is guided by his spirit. This brings us to an issue which requires your attention. Mazarin, your late father's shadow, has not yet carried out the ceremony to end his life, as honor requires. It wasn't his fault. It was an accident. There was nothing he could have done. That does not matter. The Emperor's shadow must follow him into death. Have you spoken to Mazarin? He has confined himself to his quarters, fasting in vigil. He claims that he is waiting for the Emperor's body to be found before holding the ceremony. Hard to cut your throat at your master's feet when the feet are missing. Is this supposed to be a joke? Mazarin's loyalty is not in question, but the Emperor's physical form may be forever beyond our reach. What are your commands, Your Highness? Und Spaß. Ich glaube, es kann warten. Vielleicht in ein paar Tagen taucht der Körper auf. Oder whatever. Aber ich glaube, Mazarin hat schon genug zu leiden, damit zu wissen, dass er sich jetzt umbringen muss. I'm sure Mazarin would rest easier if we could find the Emperor's remains. Until we have final proof of the Emperor's fate, or the Emperor takes the throne, it is not a dishonor to wait. Very well then. You gather up the papers and hurry away to your room before you can be presented with any more problems. In your room, you check your messages and discover that you've got mail from some school friends. They sent their condolences about your father's death. Of course, the news must be reaching across the Empire by now. It's been a season since you've been any of your old friends, since your father called you away to the Heavenly Palace and named you heir in your brother's place. At school, your two dearest friends were Xenia and Vasily. Xenia loves gauzy dresses that blow in the wind and make her look like a dramatic heroine. She's fascinated by rumors of magic and alien powers and knows more about your Northern heritage than you do. Was können wir eigentlich? Xenia was also a far better student than you were, especially when it came to computers. Xenia ist gleich Computer. She loves finding out secrets, and the crystal she keeps by her keyboard gives her special hacking insights. Bloß hacking. She's enthusiastic, bubbly, and a bundle of energy. Vasily, on the other hand, is much more laid back. He's handsome, artistic, and prefers to charm his way out of situations rather than to any actual work. He's quite intelligent when he puts his mind into things, but he'd rather use that intelligence to have a good time. Vasily always had devoted fans following in his wake, and he was kind to all of them, but never seriously in love. As far as romance went, you had a crush on Xenia, Vasily, both of them, neither of them. Wir sind solche Opfer. Wir waren natürlich in beide verliebt. Variety is the spice of your life after all, and it was fun to flirt with your friends. You really miss them. Sure you do. For now though, your social interactions are limited to the palace. Wir sind compliant als Emotion. Ich wollte ja Emotion haben. Deswegen würde ich jetzt... Kann mit dem Boy quatschen? You stop by Merchant's quarters to try and speak with him, but he won't open the door. Sirius said the shadow was refusing to leave his quarters and claimed he will not eat or sleep until your father's body is found. Perhaps he's hoping to meet his end that way. In any case, it appears he's not willing to meet with you. Also Erste gegeben. Korundi. Sterben wir gleich. Good day to you, Imperial Princess. My agents are not aware of any current threats. Okay. Wir relaxen beim Pool. You enjoy yourself lounging beside and then splashing around in your own private pool. At the end of the turn, you can direct the Heavenly Palace to warp to a new location in the Celestial Empire. You must travel to each location to interact with the local electors during the social phase. Whatever. Under each pinned location you can see the vote is up for grabs. Weiß bedeutet noch nicht. Grün wurde und rot. Okay. Okay, wir haben jetzt noch ganz viele Weiße. Das ist das super. Can move only one warp gauge up per turn. Do it any of the 4 points directly to your current location. Okay. You can view more of the map by dragging with the mouse. If you choose to stay put in location instead of moving, you receive a bonus social action on the following turn. So you can talk to more people on your location. However, there aren't many people to talk to in Deep Space. You should probably pick a new destination. Okay, also wir können zu Sarkas 1, Deep Space, also ne, Merker 1 oder Merker 2. No. Ich glaube, ja, ich habe ja noch nicht so viele Social Skills. Deshalb würde ich jetzt nicht sofort auf Merker 1 gehen, wo halt richtig krass viele Leute sind, damit es halt nicht so peinlich wäre, wenn ich verkacke. Deswegen werde ich jetzt zu Merker 2 oder zu Sarkas 1 gehen. Nicht so viele Leute, lohnt sich vielleicht nicht so, aber das ist viel. Einmal Deep Space. Ich gehe mal nach Sarkas 1. Sarkas Premise crisscrossed, whatever. Entering Sarkas 1 sector. We have a problem. Yeah, there's a problem. Mazarin has this one. What? He stopped responding to messages. When we overrode the security lockout in his quarters to see if he'd done his duty, we found them empty. How can an important political person, the Emperor's own shadow, just disappear out of the palace? Weren't you watching him? He never ordered surveillance on Mazarin. He said he was completely loyal. Your Highness, my agents have been more concerned with your safety than with the safety of a shadow who is due to enter eternity in the near future anyway. Well, did he die somehow? Did he make another warp bottle to follow my father? On last reported sighting, he was headed for the hangar decks. It seems likely that he smuggled himself out of the palace in a spaceship. As the Emperor's shadow, Mazarin was trained in a variety of techniques: stealth, surveillance, infiltration, hacking. He's quite hard to track. He has gone rogue to save his own life, or is there more of a story? Maybe he killed the Emperor. Oder vielleicht suchte ihn. Oder vielleicht will er einfach nur nicht sterben. Ich glaube, er will nicht sterben. Kann man hier speichern? Vielleicht ganz gut, dass ich jetzt auch mal gespeichert habe. He doesn't want to go through with the ceremony. That's why he had to disappear. Most likely. Princess Serana, if it falls to you to make decisions in Gunsten's place, what is your official response to the situation? Hunt him down? claim you performed the ceremony do nothing. Wir haben Lügen geskillt. Wir puten es jetzt to the test. We'll just claim that she performed the ceremony. He's gone. It's all over. There won't be a problem. It might even be true. How would anyone know? Bestimmt nicht. Schiffchen. Very well. At last, they leave you alone to plan your class schedule. Wir wissen nicht, ob es geklappt hat. Na gut. So, guck mal, was hier grün ist. Das lohnt sich am meisten. Arts. Painting, crafting, sing, acting. Costume disguise not of plays in theatre may sometimes substitute for deception. Schauspieler. Cultural trends könnte auch praktisch sein. Musical. Enter the understanding emotions of others. Understand what others find appealing. Flirtation. Vielleicht ist Allure ganz praktisch. Vielleicht Musical Knowledge of Musical History and Cultural Trends. Das könnte praktisch sein. Ich kann mir aber auch vorstellen, dass zum Beispiel Imperial History helfen könnte. Also noch erstmal Musical. Passt. Know much about music, but you like to listen to it sometimes. Amazing. There are more messages of sympathy waiting for you in your mail queue. These condolences are labeled from your Novan family. What family? You don't know anything about your mother's relatives, Crystal Nova. Since she died, they've never visited or reached out to you in any way, as far as you know. They might have sent something for her funeral, but you were very young and you don't remember the details. Are her parents still living? Did she have siblings? Do you have cousins? You wonder for a moment and then decide that it doesn't matter. Crystal Nova is no part of your life. You are dedicated to the Celestial Empire. It's almost an insult that they would reach out to you now, considering Crystal Nova / hometown. And then it hits you. This message isn't from some unknown cousin. It's from your brother. Prince Voshkot. Your older brother. Like you, half Merkin and half Novan. Unlike you, he had responsibility from a young age. He was named heir to the Celestial Empire upon his birth. He blazed his trail through the top scholarians and led his career in military service. And then he turned traitor, stole a fighter, and defected to Crystal Nova. Ex-Prince Voshkot has a variant on his head if he ever dares to return to Imperial space. You haven't heard from him since. I'm glad he's gone. Was für ne bitch. You were never that close to your brother. He was the heir. He got all the fancy toys and a college and your father's attention. He was traveling the Empire while you were stuck on the planet. You were just the second string, the spare. It was only after your brother left that your father brought you here to be with him. If Voshkot were still around, you wouldn't be living in the Heavenly Palace, and you've never had the chance to be Empress. You don't know why he turned his back on the Empire, but you've got the benefit of it. Naja, you don't have time to think about this now. You're an Imperial Princess. You're busy. When you enter a new inhabited sector for the first time, that turn's social phase will be a reception to allow you to meet the local electors. Tharkas Prime. The still beating heart of a culture far older than the Merkin Empire. A world that died and yet was reborn from its own dust. The first great global Tharkan civilization reached for the stars and almost achieved them, but their hunger for glory outstripped their planet's resources. Their thirst for technology drained the seas and burned the skies. Technology. As humanity grew, so did wars and plagues, but it was famine that finally decimated the population. What remained of the Tharkan race descended into barbarism, scrabbling for survival among the ruins. It took many hundreds of their solar cycles for rebuilding to begin. The second Tharkan civilization is slow, cautious, a careful shepherd of its resources and excessively proud of its accomplishments. That self-importance creates difficulties with the reception of arrangements. As you are not yet empressed, the Tharkan indeed refuses to flock to the palace on your command, not without presence of notice and preparation that you have no time for. The Tharkan government is willing to host you as a guest planet-side, but you are not willing to look like a petitioner, nor to seek with the advantage of familiar terrain. At least in the Heavenly Palace, you have some idea what dangers you face. As a compromise, the 3 electors of Tharkas Prime have come in person to make themselves known to you, but without entourages. There will be no entertainment, no formal meal, no crowd, nowhere to hide. Your guests are waiting for you in a small parlor, standing in a semicircle. All eyes are on you as you enter. Your attendant announces their names. Oberrot, an adult male pharaoh standing proud in a gold-trimmed uniform. Raid, an elderly Tharkan man with a short and round figure. And Unserer, a no-nonsense-looking woman with therium scales and wings. Ich glaube, die ist geskillt. Thank you all for coming. It's a pleasure to meet you. I hope this is only the beginning of a working relationship. Ich weiß so gar nicht, worum es überhaupt geht. You would like to speak to them each individually, but it's awkward. You have to pick one to address first, and the others would be right there watching and listening. They might feel slighted. Haben wir irgendeinen Rhetorik-Skill? Nee, wir haben keinen Rhetorik-Skill. Egal! And his only direct heir since my brother's defection. I've come here to meet you all so that you can... Okay, nur weil es eine Option ist, heißt nicht, dass es funktioniert. And make up your mind about who you want to support in the election. I'll talk to you privately later, but for now, do you have any questions? Now you've turned the spotlight back onto them. Any point they raise in their own favor will be heard by the others. The woman's wing twitched. Your brother was the proposed heir until quite recently. You're very young and you have not been active in galactic politics. What are your credentials? How are you qualified to rule an empire? Wir haben keine Imperial History. Wir haben ein bisschen Deception. Ich habe aber die Vermutung, dass die sich nicht von uns verarschen lässt. I have not taken an active role in politics up until this point, no. That is because I have been prioritizing my education at the finest academies in Kidro, my father wished. Learning is a lifelong goal, Learning is a lifelong goal, not something to be completed, set aside. My priorities have changed with the situation and now I have tutors and advisors to learn from. I promise you, I'm not idle. Azara sniffs visibly up. His uniform glinting. Tell me, what is your experience with the military? Have you served a tour of duty? Surely he knows that you haven't. You are too young for official service. Is that meant to be a trick question or simply an embarrassment? Your brother joined the fleet and that didn't end well. Alles fail. Wir haben ein bisschen Gunnery. Aber ohne Spaß. Wir wissen gar nichts. Aber wir könnten zum Beispiel speichern und gucken, was... und wenn wir failen, dann können wir es wieder lernen. Nee, sorry. I am, of course, too young for military service as of yet, and my duties to the Empire may not allow me the freedom in the future. Of course, I understand the importance of the military to the safety of the Celestial Empire. That is why I rely on experts such as the Star Admiral to advise me. Na gut. We know very little about you as an individual. If I might ask, are there any forms of music that you find particularly enjoyable? Musical basic. Would they be flattered if you claim to be a fan of a Tharkan composer? You think you've vaguely heard of a few, but you're not an expert. Classical Tharkan music? Fail. I like the classical Tharkan opera. That sounds sufficiently eroded, doesn't it? Surely that can inspire me as opera. Ah, what's your favorite work? Oh dear, apparently they do have opera and Red as a fan. The Great Drought? Considering the importance of water in Southern history, someone must have written an opera about it. The elector frowned slightly, but let's have breakfast. And now perhaps some refreshments. At your signal, servants entered bearing trays of light beverage and exquisite cheese. The small talk must continue, but the pressure will now be less. You need some time to think before you can decide how they feel about you. Now that you have met the electors of the region, you can contact them privately during your social phases in the sector. Das war voll der Fail. Das war voll der Fail. You invite some of those residents in the palace to join you for an evening of rural entertainment. War peinlich, aber vielleicht hat jemand Mitleid mit uns. Your screen is chiming insistently. Someone on your contacts list is trying to call you. Hello. Oh, hello. Das ist Wesley. Wesley, hello. Und wir blatschen natürlich. Xenia pushes her way into view. Saranga, we're here to support you in honor of your need. Well, we're not here yet. I mean, we're here, but we're not there. Oh mein Gott, ich hasse es jetzt schon. But we could be if you want. What? That's what she's saying, is that we would like to visit you in the Heavenly Palace if that's not an imposition. You shouldn't be all alone at a time like this. And you shouldn't have to deal with entertaining us or trying to look the right amount of sad if that's just more stressful. However, if you would enjoy the distraction and the hikes and the chance to show all of your new stuff, then we will happily fly out to see you. Do you want to see your friends? They at least don't want anything political from you, probably. But you're still pretty overwhelmed with everything you need to manage here. Do you have time to play hostess? Ich habe mir aufgeschrieben, dass Xenia irgendwas mit Computern hacken kann und Wesley zwar faul ist, aber sich mit Kunst auskennt. Also vielleicht wollen die uns nur so heimlich besuchen, vielleicht ist es gar nicht so schlecht. I would love to have you visit, but it may not be that exciting. Everything's in turmoil around here. That's fine. We're happy just to be with you. We'll see you soon. Okay. Ich glaube, so ein bisschen Imperial History, das kann niemandem schaden. Ich glaube, wir müssen ein bisschen lügen lernen. Ich glaube, sonst kommen wir hier nicht weit. Skimming the history of the Celestial Empire, you see many patterns that repeat: political marriages, betrayals, wars for control and resources, and of course, assassinations. One way to distract people from the truth is to embarrass yourself. Onlookers will be so busy feeling superior to your disasters, they don't suspect anything else. Wir haben schon Student-Level Deception. You wait eagerly for your friends to disembark. Sarah! She runs up and throws her arms around you in a hug of greeting. Wesley follows more sedately, not laying a hand on you in this very public environment. How are you? Have you been sleeping okay? You look tired. What have they done to you? She fuzzes over your hair while you try to explain about the election and the need to assemble a team of advisors. That must be very difficult, putting your fate in the hands of strangers you cannot trust. Hey, that's the marvelous idea. What is? We could be your advisors. I know a lot about other galactic cultures, and Wesley knows all about art and stuff, and then you'd have people on your team that you trusted. Galactic cultures? Ich dachte... Hacking. Naja. Besser als nix. Also, if you appoint us to your cabinet, then we'd be assigned quarters in the palace and we could stay here longer. Otherwise, we can only visit for Tristan. I don't know. Don't decide anything right away. We would be happy to help, even if it's only for a little while. But you have many responsibilities. If you want to make those plans, we can talk later. Right, that's right. For now, you need to show us around your palace. Okay. 4. Okay, wir können mit den 3 reden und dann mit jemandem. Okay. Ich bin... Oh, es gibt so viel Auswahl. Okay, wir wissen... She's female. Okay. Voting is undecided. Ground skills background. Wir sind all in. You arrange for private dialogue with Zora and lay out your offer. In exchange for a electoral vote. Das ist alles oder nichts. Ich meine, die finden uns, also alle 3 finden uns kacke. Kann ich doch. Ne? You will be one of my closest advisors with influence on imperial policy. Alright, I'm listening. What's your offer? Die ist Kanzler. Die ist krass. Die wird Kanzler. Ja. Was war's? Forward any necessary paperwork to my majordomo, along with the specifications for the ministerial apartments, so that my wife can plan her design. She has a wife. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other businesses to attend to. If elevated Ausflüge, elect of the thugs, climbed to the position of Lord Chancellor. She will now travel with the palace. She grants Arana a bureaucracy skill of 60. You've unlocked Denounce. X for social action. Okay. Okay. Unsera. Remove. Explore social network. Investigate the relationship of Unsera is allied with Erilotti, Mao, Oletko, Jade and Eve. Arthur und Sola are enemies. Okay, ich hoffe... jetzt wird es auch angezeigt. Wir kennen niemanden von denen. Aber vielleicht müssen wir es dann bei Vater und Sola gar nicht erst probieren. Okay. Damit haben wir schon ein Zwischenstück gebraucht. Okay. Ich würde jetzt Xenia fragen, ob die irgendwie... Ich glaube, die ist ein Safe Choice. Like jewelry, ghost dresses, romantic bla bla. Das better student name at school. Das kenne ich jetzt. So, this is what the cabinet chamber looks like. Somehow I thought the walls would be more dark and mysterious. Are you sure you want to join? To be seated at the heart of all secrets government deals? Of course! Then I am happy to have you as my external creator, head of galactic relations. She squeaks with joy and kisses you on the cheek. 30? Naja, besser als nix. Okay. Hier, ich habe schon 3 besetzt. Ist doch gar nicht so schlecht. Wir haben einen für uns. Unsera, 29 noch nicht. Cool. Condition Domination. Domination, Alter. Playing understand official sports. Wozu brauche ich das denn? Animal habits, checking knowledge of traps, grabbing, pinning, twisting. Okay. Ich gehe shoppen. While you can have special items made to order for you, it's also fun to go and browse the offerings available in the Heavenly Palace exclusive boutiques. As a princess, anything you like is yours for the take. Ich glaube, wir gehen mal auf eine... Geh mal zu... Okay. Okay. Ich kann spulen, das wusste ich nicht. Okay, ich kann zurückspulen, das wusste ich. Okay. Yeah, okay. You make your way to the cabinet room. Yawning. Vasily left last night, but Sidio dragged you out of bed first thing in the morning for an important meeting. We have received a message from the Star Admiral. Alright, you need to meet with him to discuss your candidacy for the throne. He doesn't have an official electoral vote, but as the head of the Imperial military, his support, or lack of it, will affect how others see you. He reports that an Iskvatel has been sighted far past the drug system in unaffiliated space. Oh, Xenia hat uns mit irgendwas geholfen. Iskavel are something like giant space moths. They cluster around stars to feed, blocking out the light. A swarm of them plunged the Novan homeworld into an ice age, nearly wiping out their civilization. It was a long, long time ago, but it's hard to forget. Unfortunately, as space-dwelling organisms, they're impervious to most damage and nearly impossible to kill. The creature is not currently on a direct course for Imperial space, but their movement patterns are unpredictable. It could approach Drog. It is a single Iskaval, and the Drog system has no plans to threaten. The danger is not high. Admiral Yaku awaits your instructions. What do you want the Star Admiral and his flagship to do? Rendezvous with the palace. I wish to speak with the Star Admiral personally. Tell him to return to the Heavenly Palace. Very well. Ist nett. Ja, ich mache natürlich Lore. Und Lügen. All in. All in. You said the way people accentuate their attributes through clothing and makeup. Tight hair, loose here, pushing up this and flattening that and making those look wider. Okay, deception ist bisschen schon practice leveled. The primary function of the inner system planets has always been to supply resources to the homeworld after the rise and fall of the first great Tharkan civilization stripped it nearly bare. Both worlds are far wetter than Tharka's prime and contain great mineral wealth. The first planet, Chakagola, is a boiling sea above a volcanic core which spits out hot metal bombs and rare alloys. The second planet, Gakton, resembles a vast swampland with a wide variety of plant and animal life. These worlds are of immense strategic importance but will never have the same prestige, the same sense of history and epic struggle. The elite are wealthy and powerful but always fix their gazes on the true nobility elsewhere. Bureaucracy, student success! Gargthon contains several large American embassies whose staff are only too happy to advise the palace on the local trends and other methods to make the guests feel flattered and indulged while maintaining your air of superiority. As the most important person in attendance, you wait for the festivities to be in full swing before making your grand entrance. Once all eyes are upon you, you speak words of welcome, then grant them permission to return to their own conversations. You are not yet empress enough to command the whole assembly into silence for hours. You sweep your gaze over the assembled guests, picking the electors out of the crowd. Elector of Chakagola, is easy enough to identify. A man of mature age, he's unusually tall, even for a Thero. His frame does not look at all muscular, but he is almost certainly far stronger than you. Elector is unmarried, though a much younger male appears to be attending with him. That might be his son, but he looks purely Tharkan. More likely he has a new companion or even a recent addition to the elector's harem. The other elector, Lorcas, is this well-dressed, middle-aged Tharkan woman with a glass of blue wine in her hand. She's married, but her husband is not with her. He appears to be on the far side of the room, enjoying himself in the company of other women. Noticing your attention, she immediately makes her way over to you. Greetings and welcome, Your Imperial Highness. It has been a long time. Have you met her before? You don't remember her at all. Of course, everyone in the Empire knows who you are, and until recently you were more interested in remembering your friends' schedules than in remembering the face of every politician in the Empire. Ja, komm. I'm sorry, did you before? It was at the ceremony of remembrance for the Empress. Of course, ja, da war sie noch sehr klein. It was a difficult time for you. I'm sure you don't remember me. You haven't wanted to remember much of anything about that time. You were a child, confused by the loss of a mostly absent parent and angry at the way strangers wanted to fawn over you. Change negative. And now here you are, living it all over again, older but even more alone. My condolences on your father's passing. He was truly a great man. Noch mehr negative. It hurts to hear your father praised, considering what he's done to your life. He may have been a great man, but he was not a great father. We scarcely even met. He was a stranger to me. Did he not train you as his heir? You don't want to remind anyone of how unprepared you were for this. You must step smoothly so that you don't look defensive. Oh, he directed my education, of course. I've had the finest tutors, attended the best academies, are perfectly well organized. He was always very busy tending to the needs of the Empire, so he placed me in the hands of experts. But in the process, we lost that personal connection. It's something that I hope I can improve upon when the day comes for me to raise my own children. Very wise of you. I see your elector hovering nearby. I had better stop monopolizing your attention before he feels need to plot his revenge. The two electors must engage in a certain amount of competition for prestige. I look forward to speaking with you again in the future. She bows to you and retreats, politely slipping away to avoid turning her back on you. Can't tell how she feels. Wow! Das ist ja große. The elector of Chakagola is swift to step into your circle of attention. Once his semi-rival has withdrawn, a bit too close, you need to crane your neck up to look at him in the eye. He is infernally tall. Uncomfortable, you take a small step backwards. His shaggy green face looks pinched in, as if he's bitten into something unpleasant. Perhaps it's a sign of age, for his low rumbling voice sounds polite enough. You honor the Tharkan system with your presence, Your Imperial Highness. It is my pleasure to be here. The younger man who was with the lector earlier is no longer in evidence. He didn't bring his companion over to be introduced. Does that mean something? Truly, it was a day of great sorrow when your father left us. There's a hint of disapproval in his statement. A sad day because it meant you would inherit? What would he know? He's never even met you before, and you doubt he was any sort of confidant of your father's. Or was he? Ich habe Angst, wenn wir sagen, did you know wird, dass wir noch dümmer wirken, als wir sind. Deswegen so, nein, er hat uns nicht verlassen. Er ist immer in unseren Herzen geblieben. Emperor Dragosin did not leave us. He lived his life in service of the Empire. He would never have chosen to abandon us. My apologies, I spoke unwisely. Immer noch negativ. He's not really sorry, is he? I look forward to speaking with you again later. The tall man recognizes his dismissal and withdraws. You can't tell how he feels about you. Ich habe das Gefühl, das werden wir noch oft hören. You take a deep breath, restoring your calm. There are still hours of social interaction left ahead of you. As you turn in search of other dignitaries, you briefly meet the gaze of the young Tharkan man who stands, once again, by Elector's side. He shoots you a friendly grin and tilts his head, encouraging you to come closer. You quickly turn away. It's a complication you do not need. Instead, you move on to the premise of Gargdon, a notorious bore. This may be a long evening. Lali, ich glaube, das war eine ordentliche Portion für den zweiten Teil. Branatz und bis zum nächsten Mal.